As a publicly traded company, AECOM owes a duty to its shareholders and government regulators to make sure that our financial statements are true and accurate and our internal controls are effective. Audit services and finance and accounting play key roles in making sure this is the case. Let's take a fictional look at what can go wrong when our policies and procedures are not implemented or followed. Follow Senior Audit Services member Mike Estes when he visits AECOM's faraway land office and encounters worst practices.
It's great to meet you in person finally, Ms. Gorman. I appreciate you taking the time and having us down this week. And I've got the results of your self-assessment in front of you here, and that's really sort of the purpose of this first meeting.
Okay, well, great. So nice to finally meet you. We've been communicating over email and phone, so it's nice to finally meet you, and I appreciate you making a long trip. Before we get started, I just want to let you know, though, I'm pretty nervous about this. I mean, we've been operating here for a number of years, doing really well. No one from corporate has ever visited us, let alone anyone from audit, or asked for all this information or this level of detail. So I have to ask, are you really here to close the office or lay someone off?
No, not at all. Not at all. This is just a normal part of our remote office program that we started a year ago. And it's really just part of ensuring that we have an effective control environment across the globe. And really, to be honest with you, it's just your country's turn to do it next. We've done these in several countries, like I said, over the past 12 months. We're in the new fiscal year now, and it just happens to be your country's turn to do it next. So,
lucky us. All right, well, let's go through it. I see you have it printed out here, so we'll just get going. But I'm nervous about this.
Listen, nothing to be nervous about. This is an open book, and we've already sent all the data down that we want to take a look at, so no worries.
All right, easy for you to say, but okay, let's see what you got.
Great. Let's start with cash. So I was taking a look at what you sent in here, and I saw that you think you have 16 accounts.
Okay.
And that seems kind of a lot for such a small operation. But also too, I was looking at the signatory, and the signatory happened to have the same name as you.
Oh yes, that's my husband. We started working here a long time ago, and he's been promoted to country manager. So as country manager and legal representative of this office, he's a signatory on a lot of the accounts. So it makes perfect sense that he would be a signatory on that. As far as the number of accounts, I said 16?
Yes. Well, you said you thought 16.
Yeah, that's probably about right. We have an account for each project, and yeah, I think we have 16 going on right about now.
Wow, an account for each project. That seems like a lot.
It works really well for us. It makes it so much easier and much more efficient.
Okay. I understand how that's logical, but let me ask you, I'm not accustomed to seeing, the husband and the wife being in charge of all the finances, right? Let me ask you, are you familiar with the AECOM Code of Conduct, separation of duties, potential conflicts of interest?
What was that first one?
The Code of Conduct.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, sure.
And you know the section in there about, if there's, husband and wife, brother, sister, any kind of family relationships, especially if they work for one another or within the same department, it's a potential conflict of interest, and the regional CFO has to approve that.
All that's in there?
Yeah.
And regional CFO has to?
You know the regional CFO, right?
I met him.
Okay.
Yeah,
he has to approve that.
Wait, he has to approve what goes on in this office?
Well, he has to approve to make sure that we're okay with the potential conflict of interest.
I have some accounting background.
Not questioning.
I know how to do it.
Yeah, of course you do. I'm not questioning your capabilities. It's just a matter of ensuring that everyone knows that you're related to the country manager.
Oh, well, yeah, everybody knows.
Well, everyone here knows in this country, and so AECOM's got this process where the regional CFO just needs to be made aware and approve the process. It's really quite straightforward.
Regional CFO. All right. What else?
So let's just keep going through your self-assessment here. I also noticed, too, that there are some loans made to employees.
Oh, let me tell you about this program.
Okay.
I think you're going to want to take this back to corporate. This is fantastic.
Okay.
We get some of the best students into the company by doing this. See, we start when they're students and they have all those loans, a lot of money they have to pay, so we offer that if they come to work for us, we pay their loan.
So you're now in the student loan business?
Well, you could phrase it that way, but we look at it as we're bringing in future leaders. We're bringing in high quality talent to the company.
I understand what you're saying. So do you have contracts that they sign and where you have repayment terms over with interest rates?
Now, what would be the point in a repayment term if the reason that we're bringing them in is because we pay the loan?
So they don't pay them back.
Is that a problem?
Well, let's just keep it to the self-assessment for right now. Not necessarily say problems for right now. All right. Well, let's keep going here, if that's okay.
Sure.
Another loan that I came across, it was a fairly large loan, and it looked like it was to an employee and a fairly senior person.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe you found that. Yeah, that's a tragic story, very sad, very sad. We had a bad storm here a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was a couple months ago. Anyway, this director, my husband and I have known him for years. Wonderful man, really fantastic, but he had a lot of damage to his house. So he needed help to get it repaired. I mean,
Like
he needed
lost
these
his roof?
repairs.
Yep.
I think there was a roof involved. I think there was something about a guest house. Details. I'm not really sure, but I know he needed it. He needed it really badly, and he needed it done right away. Matter of fact, there were some of that architects and engineers here at the company who pitched in to help to try to get it done even faster. And you know, we're a small office, as you know, and we're all kind of like a family here. So everybody pitched in and helped him out and got it done.
Oh, that's great. So, you know, he signed a contract to repay the loan, though, through a salary deduction or something?
You're big on this contract thing.
Well, you know, we have to have the loan repaid.
Well, he'll repay it. He's a good friend. We trust him. He'll repay it.
Well, trust isn't a control, but again, we'll get into more detail later in the week. But it's great to see that the employees volunteered their time to work on the weekends to help them out.
Yes, they volunteered some of the time. Yep, absolutely. They wanted to help.
Okay. I sensed some hesitation there. So was their work done like during the work week? Were they charging time?
A little bit. Just a little. But you have to understand, though, he needed it done right away.
Right.
It had to get repaired.
Okay.
And they all were anxious to help him.
Have you shared this with the regional CFO?
Again, with the regional CFO.
Okay. We'll come back to that. Okay. So I might need to talk to the operations director later in the week so I can get some more details about it too.
I think he's working on the house.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep going.
Okay.
I was looking at your petty cash, and you mentioned a lot of large monthly disbursements on your self-assessment here, and you use a category called stuff.
Yes, very helpful.
Well, usually we see something more descriptive, so why don't you tell me a little bit about stuff?
So, you work in an office, you know what stuff is.
Okay.
You got paper, you got water, you got coffee, you got subcontractors, you got employees, you got vendors. Everybody has to get paid.
Subcontractors and employees through petty cash?
Oh, well, we're a cash-based transactional office here. I mean, how else are you gonna get these people paid? They need to get paid. We pay them. They take cash. It works very simply, very quickly, and it helps to build that word that I love, trust.
Again, trust, I understand, and you know, we want to trust, but you know, trust isn't a control. Do you at least have people sign for the cash if you're paying them? I take that as a no.
No. All the time?
Yeah.
Most of the time, yes. We get receipts. You know, nobody's perfect, but yes, we are supposed to always have signed receipts.
So I want you to be open to a change. I know you do online banking, and I know your vendors have bank accounts, and you could pay them via push of the button every month.
That is so impersonal. Yes, you know, that's an option. Okay, I'll give you that. That's an option, but you know, you've got to build relationships.
Yep.
You have to establish that trust,
that
connection with the person.
Yep.
Pushing a button and making a payment doesn't happen. You build the trust. You're there face to face. And it works. It works for us.
Well, you could pay them in gold coins, and I don't think actually paying them builds the trust. I think it's more about relationship management. And I was talking to your project manager, one of your project managers, and he was late at a site one night in not a great part of town, and you know, he could have easily been robbed while he was paying the subcontractor.
Oh, my brother.
So your brother works here too?
Is that a problem?
Well, it's just another thing where the CFO may just need to take a look and sign off on that.
CFO again. Fine, fine. What else?
So let's just be open to that, because controls aren't just to protect the company, but they are also to protect the employees.
Am I going to get in trouble?
No, what I'm saying is that we wouldn't want your brother to be, held up and have his money
My
stolen.
mother would kill me. Okay. All right. We can get into more detail. All right.
So let's take a look here. So when you hire the vendors or contractors, do you have some sort of review process? And I'm sure they sign contracts for the work that they do.
That's a lot of detail and paperwork. Most of our subcontractors that we work with, we've worked with them for years.
Right?
We know they're reliable. We know we can trust them. Their fees may be, in your eyes, a little bit higher, but you have to understand what it's like to do business here. You need to understand this business environment. It is very unique.
Right.
I'm sure you have not come across it anywhere else.
It's so unique that they don't write contracts in this country?
Aren't we flippant?
Well, contracts not only protect us, but they also protect the subcontractor. And there's certain provisions that have to be in there also. Remember, we're a publicly traded company, and we're subject to laws that aren't just in this country, but we're subject to laws in other countries too. And so,
Whoa. Other countries' laws apply here?
Yes, they do, because we're traded on a stock exchange, a publicly traded stock exchange.
Where did this come from?
Well, part of my purpose here is to help educate you too.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, if we can work on the contract thing, if that's really important, but it gets busy around here, and a lot of people have a lot of things to do, and keeping track of all that paper is a little difficult.
I'm sure you'll be fine. We'll come up with an idea.
Well, we do have one idea.
What's that?
Oh, this is great. I can't believe I didn't share this with you. This might be another thing that you can tell the offices. We have a template document for all of our subcontractors. We've worked with them for years. So we just agree on what the amount is, and we print it out for them, and we have their signature, and bam, there it is. Cuts down on time like that. It's great.
So it's not specific to each project? And they don't personally sign it each time?
So this isn't a good idea.
Let's go back to the self-assessment here.
Yeah, good
Okay.
idea.
So let's see here. Let's go back to the payments in cash. So I've already verified that we're not always getting signed receipts for the cash, and again we try to be sensitive to local customs. But that's one change we're probably going to have to make.
All right, maybe we can do something with that.
And actually, we're probably going to have to take a step further where we need to do online transfers with these people.
Back to the online transfers.
But let me ask you about your log. You had some gaps in your log. Is that just where you get too busy and couldn't,
There aren't a lot of gaps. There's just a few.
All right. Well, I'll need some detail behind that before the end of the week.
End of the week.
Yep.
Okay, end of the week.
So I've got one more question for you here. I was looking at your transaction log, and I came across a fairly large transaction that was labeled as payment to ministry official for award of contract. Can you tell me a little bit about that one? That seems
Yeah.
like a large payment for such a small operation.
Mike, you got to understand how we do business here.
Oh, dear.